New tonight on the 19, we have more on the sexual abuse investigation of players that's been looking into women's professional soccer, including Racing Louisville in Butchertown. Details of the investigative report were released today, and this afternoon reporters pressed Commissioner Lisa Berman on if they would be acting on the many recommendations for change.
We expect to have meaningful systemic reform in place for the 2022-2023 season.
That report revealing new details on how Racing Louisville FC fired former coach Christy Holly for alleged sexual misconduct, but then also paid him a settlement fee. WHAS 11's Tyler Griever has covered this story from the very beginning. He joins us now with more details tonight. Tyler?
Yeah, Doug, that sexual misconduct mainly concerns Holly's sexual abuse of former Racing defender Aaron Simon. We finally have details of the non-disclosure agreement Racing and Holly signed that the club said was to protect Simon, but this joint investigation concludes Racing failed in doing that and a lot more. According to the joint investigation, Racing and Holly signed a non-disclosure agreement that included a severance payment of $14,000 and also an additional $5,000 if either party broke it. But it also did not allow the club to bring Holly's sexual misconduct to law enforcement. In regards to protecting Simon, the report states there's no evidence the club sought her input on terms of the agreement. It concluded that the NDA was, quote, far more limiting on the club than what was necessary to protect her confidentiality, unquote. Our November special report featured a current Racing player and former ones speaking to that NDA.
We're just continuing to be part of the problem.
You can say what he's done without who he did it to. And he was able to walk away free.
He sexually abused her and he preyed on her and did what he did. That needs to be addressed.
The report also detailed players trying to protect confidentiality in fear of retaliation when raising concerns to the club.
If I go in there and say anything, I'm never going to play here. I'm never going to have a chance here.
But confidentiality was broken when Human Resources set up a meeting with Holly, current club president James O'Connor, and others. O'Connor told investigators confidentiality was only needed for issues that were, quote, illegal or immoral, unquote.
After that, there just seemed to be okay, no matter what we say, things aren't changing. Apparently there are too many cooks in the kitchen.
We didn't really have anyone to go to or to talk to. We had each other.
Well, Tyler, the report is critical of Racing Louisville, going back to even why they hired Holly in the first place.
Yeah, in terms of general conclusions that this report reached, it concluded that Racing failed to vet Christy Holly properly and also failed to properly respond to players' concerns and then provide the proper information for why he was fired. There's so many recommendations from this report, Doug, but we all know that meaningful action is ultimately what's going to bring actual change in this league, and it remains to be seen. I know Commissioner Berman stated that it will happen for the 2023 season, but we still don't have a timeline on that yet or even an official statement from Racing on this new report, not the Yates report. So that all remains to be seen.
All right, Tyler, thank you.
No problem.
And to see Tyler's full special report, the 30-minute investigation into Racing Louisville, it includes more of those interviews and current and former players. Go to the WHAS 11 YouTube page.